Hey there, welcome to Screen Rant, my fellow Mando fans. Now, sadly, Season 1 of The Mandalorian is over, but Season 2 is officially on its way, and we have gotten confirmation that some original trilogy characters will appear in it, which is awesome. Now, there will be some spoilers ahead for Season 1, so if you haven't gotten all the way through it yet, please make sure you catch up before you watch any further. It looks like Season 2 is going to revolve around Din Djarin trying to reunite Baby Yoda with its kind, so we might finally find out what the heck Yoda's species is called and finally get a proper name for the little guy. And with Moff Gideon on their tail and the Darksaber in hand, the two won't be safe until they've completed their mission, and maybe not even then. But the galaxy's a pretty big place with plenty of places to hide, which also means that there are plenty of opportunities for them to run into people that we've seen before in the original trilogy and in the animated series as well. So let's get right to it. I'm Greg Elliott, and here are a bunch of characters from the Star Wars universe that we think might appear in the second season of The Mandalorian. The end of Chapter 5 teased a mysterious character walking towards Fennec Shard's body, and the going theory is that this might actually be Boba Fett, although how he might be alive is anybody's guess. Now, this person appears to be wearing armor similar to Din's, but more importantly, the sound of them walking is accompanied by the same spurs sound that Boba has in the films.
He's no good to me dead.
The fact that Moff Gideon has the Darksaber in the season finale also raises lots of questions, which we'll get to in a minute, but one person that wielded the Darksaber for a while was none other than Darth Maul after he killed Pre Vizsla in the Clone Wars. And although Maul is dead at this point in time, that doesn't mean that we couldn't see him in a flashback, especially one that relates to his time with the blade. After Maul's death, Rebels' Sabine Wren, also a Mandalorian, found the Darksaber and was its owner for a short while. But aside from her Darksaber connection, Sabine is one of the most well-known Mandalorians in Star Wars, so that's reason enough for her to show up. And here's where it gets interesting. Sabine eventually gave the Darksaber to Bo-Katan Kryze, who became Mandalore's new ruler. And as far as we knew before the season finale, she was its last known owner. Now, there's a good chance that Season 2 will fill in some blanks between from when she got it and when Moff Gideon did, so Bo-Katan could very well show up too. But since Mandalore's Great Purge happened sometime between then and now, and Bo-Katan obviously no longer has it, we've got a bad feeling about this. And Katie Sackhoff, who voiced Bo-Katan in both the Clone Wars and Rebels, has dropped some very cryptic hints on Twitter recently, so we're thinking maybe, just maybe, she'll be reprising her role in live action for the very first time. Now, if Sabine encounters Din and Baby Yoda in Season 2, that opens the door for Ahsoka Tano from the Clone Wars and Rebels to also make an appearance, since after the events of Rebels, the two of them went to look for the lost Jedi Knight Ezra Bridger. Ahsoka's also had personal encounters with Yoda himself, which means she might be able to help Din learn more about Baby Yoda's lineage. And speaking of Ezra, he has yet to resurface since the events of the Rebels finale. And depending on what far out part of the galaxy Din and Baby Yoda find themselves in, it's not out of the question that he might finally reappear. Dave Filoni, the creator of Rebels and director of 2 Mandalorian episodes, has confirmed that Ezra did survive the space whale's jump to hyperspace, so the door is definitely open. And then there's always the chance that Din could cross paths with the last established Jedi during this period, the one and only Luke Skywalker. Now, the Armorer mentioned the Mandalorian's complicated history with the Jedi, and while a Luke cameo isn't necessary by any means, seeing him in his younger years again would be pretty cool. The Mandalorian's first season brought in lots of familiar elements from the franchise, and it's safe to say that they'll keep it up in Season 2. We're definitely excited to see who pops up, and we'll of course keep you in the loop as we learn more. Until then, I'm Greg Elliott, and this is The Way.